Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. So today I'm going to be talking over one of the most insane carries I've ever had. So for context of this game, I was 2 games from Sovereign at this point. And you're going to see the early game go really poorly, and then kind of what happens from there, I think is one of the most insane carries I've ever had. So I think it's a pretty fun game to watch. We'll just go over my thought process, all those types of things. So starting off, I start on the red side. I start on Krugs when I play Echo because of this clear that you can see how fast you can clear the Krugs. You use your Q, you get 1 auto in, then you auto the small Krug, then you kill all those, and then you can get a couple autos on the mini Krugs Q, and then as you're walking away, it'll finish it off. And so I will show this clear. Normally I don't show the clears, but you can see like Echo's clear is a little more involved than the average clear, where again, then we use our second ability to drag the minions here, and you can just see that efficiency with that clear. And then after that, you get level 3 a little bit after killing that, like all the small raptors. And then that's pretty much it for the clear. So like that's like the main thing that's hard for the clear. The rest of the clear is pretty straightforward. But yeah, early game, we're just pathing towards top lane. Again, I usually start Krugs just because of how much faster it is. As Echo, generally don't need to have an insane early game. The main goal is find a recall around mana boots. If you can find an angle to fight Scuttle, it's not bad. If you have prio or something, like here, I try to sneak Scuttle quickly because I see these in Zhao, and so I just want to grab this Scuttle before he can contest me, and then I can go right to the Gromp after, and then possibly look for a gank topside if something shows up. But yeah, overall, just kind of trying to get a pretty straightforward early game. You can see here already, like the laners are definitely not ideal, but then the Ornn randomly ends for no reason, so our teammates get a free kill. But yeah, like the early game isn't the worst start ever, but you see like really the mid game is where the game just goes completely like wrong. But overall there, we end up looking to see if we can help this guy push. I shouldn't have taken that 1 minion. I didn't mean to take that one, but I was kind of trolling there. Not intentionally, but yeah, we take 1 minion, but we try to help them push so that they can get the recall off quicker, which is why I ended up using my abilities on the wave there. And then we just look for a recall after getting our mana boots, obviously going towards bottom lane now, because that's where we see a possible fight. But again, our Camille already recalled. And so now what we're doing here, and again, this is one of those things that I kind of talked about that I haven't done a lot recently, or I hadn't done before, again, the corrupt video, which is kind of the thing where we were trying to pay a lot more attention to lanes. Here, normally I would be like, this guy's just going to jump away. Not really going to be able to chase him. He'll probably flash away. But I have a Camille with ultimate here. And so forcing a fight onto him, because of the fact that I have a Camille with ultimate, actually makes a lot of sense. Because you can see here, all Camille has to do to follow up is just flash and ult, and it's very easy to get the kill there. I do almost die, but I have my ultimate, so it's perfectly fine. So forcing that little gank does definitely help us a bit in terms of like getting some of that early gold. We don't know exactly where Xin Zhao is, so we don't want to necessarily force plates or anything. Plus I have camps up, so I just go back to farming my camps now at this point. We see Xin Zhao bottom lane, and then again, just going for a pretty straightforward clear here, just clearing all the camps that come up as they come up. And then in this situation, I was looking for a mid gank after because I had a little bit of time. And then now I look for the top side gank as well, just because we do see the enemy kind of overextending. Again, just all pretty straightforward things here. But we end up getting that kill onto the Ornn. Again, just taking advantage of that brief window before we go for our blue and our Gromp to look for that gank because we saw them kind of overextending. So again, we've been doing a better job of taking advantage of those things in the early game and getting some type of lead. Our laners aren't doing awful, and I missed the Gromp there, but our laners aren't doing awful. Like I said, the early game isn't actually like the worst part. It's really like the mid game and then like the insane comeback that we have. But overall here, I only have 1,000 gold to spend, so I don't need to necessarily spend my gold. I'd rather be set up more for this objective because I see my team being pretty aggressive. Again, another thing that we've kind of been working on. Instead of going for a random recall that doesn't actually get us that much, I look to stay around for a possible kill because I'm not going to get that much more value out of recalling. And my top laner is losing lane, so I don't really want to play around the Herald, even though Herald's a better objective. And then here again, I end up actually going for the fight just because we see the enemy kind of going so deep. So I do try to end up forcing a kill onto the Ornn, which we do get. And we're definitely not going to get the dragon, I don't think, at this point, because I don't have smite. But we're mostly just looking for the fight at this point now, which is what we end up kind of finding out of the Annie there. I think we kill her. We do. But yeah, the jungler can contest now, so we're just kind of like, yeah, let's give up the dragon. And again, this is like what's more valuable, because getting the dragon, it really is, like we've kind of spoke about dragons being pretty useless multiple times. But getting those extra couple kills, being able to snowball the game, that is much more valuable. So kind of valuing that kill over the dragon because of how likely it looked like I could get that kill did kind of just make more sense. And so the early game, again, not going very well at this point. My team's down was at 4,000 gold. But at least I'm relatively strong. I'm hitting my Lich Bane at a pretty good timer. And so we're just kind of focusing on making sure we can get gold to ourselves. We can farm up and then hopefully at least carry the game, which is why we're going to just go kind of focus on the farm here. You see we're clearing our entire red side now. That is up. And that puts us in a position to get the gank on bottom side. So we're kind of looking to maybe find a gank or find some plates, something like that, onto this Camille if possible. But overall, again, there's not that much we can do. Really just trying to force some extra gold from these plates. Again, I don't know why I queued that minion. I'm kind of a griefer, but either way, we end up getting like 3 plates from this, so it's pretty good. But I think Jax might even end up getting the kill. I'm not sure. This Jax got really fed in this game, I remember. So I think Camille does end up making it out. Jax does kind of hard counter Camille, so it's a little bit of a hard matchup. His third ability just makes it really hard for such an auto attack based champion to really get much of her damage off. But yeah, overall here, we're kind of just focused on, again, just farming, hitting our power spikes, and hoping that we can at least somewhat outscale. And then here you see, again, once again, I know I keep mentioning these things, but this is something I wouldn't have done before. I wouldn't have gone for bottom lane instead of prioritizing my camps. But here, I don't want to lose an entire turret to a Jax, so I decide, like, yeah, I'm going to prioritize the fight here on the Jax rather than going for anything else. And so we're looking for a possible kill angle. I do have to use my ult because he is really strong. But the main goal there, again, is just to get the wave, protect our turret. And at this point, we're 7 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. I get max gold from this wave, so I'm actually fine with it. We end up dodging the Jax and kind of outplaying him there. So that was a nice little play, and then we're able to get multiple waves off of it. And I think we even get this turret off it as well. And the turret has a gold bounty. So again, you see, playing around those waves, playing around the turrets, protecting our own turret, getting those waves, even though I lost my blue side camps to an invade, it was definitely worth it because I got a gold bounty, I got like 3 waves, and I got a kill. So all of those things, again, really, like, honestly, nearly game saving at that point to then hit my item so much quicker. And so now I kind of overforce a fight a bit here, looking for something a bit more aggressive probably than I needed to, but it is what it is. I think I'm able to at least make it out, but my team definitely does get killed there. And so again, we're just prioritizing these waves, making sure we can at least prioritize some amount of gold on ourselves, get ourselves decently fed. Because again, I mean, 9 minutes in the game, I'm already 2 items. Like, I am very strong. It's just the rest of my team is very behind, so we kind of have to, like, again, we're down to 8,000 gold basically at this point. So we're 9 minutes into the game, we're already down 8,000 gold. I'm 302, so like, I'm doing decent, but nothing crazy. I'm not able to like 1v9 this game. And so usually what you need to do in a game that's this like lost is pretty much just value farm and play around gold bounties really heavily, and then look for that like one period of time where the enemy give you some way back into the game, whether they overextend on one side of the map and they give you a bunch of gold bounties, or one of them gets caught for no reason. Then you're able to, you know, just kind of snowball from there. Whatever it is, you need to just look for that kind of one angle, but you don't need to overforce anything. I'm willing to take a more risky play when it shows up, but notice how I'm kind of recalling. I'm sort of more concerned with that top side gold, with that gold bounty, trying to get that gold if I can. Like, that to me is definitely more valuable. Or even here going mid, just get the mid wave. I'm just trying to get waves. I'm trying to get gold on myself. Really not concerned with all these fights because, I mean, we're down like 8,000 gold. We're not going to win fights. It just wouldn't make sense. So again, here you just see me recalling, valuing that gold once again, then just going to my camps because I know they're going to cover top side at this point, so I'm not really going to be able to get there. I could have ran straight top side and instantly gotten that gold bounty. It might have been better than going mid, to be honest, but either way, you can kind of see what we're looking for is just that gold in whatever way we can get it. And so again, here we're just going to play around kind of top side because that's where there is a turret up, right? So we're just going to be prioritizing that as much as we can. And then the only problem here is that dragon is spawning on the top side, so it's a little hard to like actually contest, which is why you see me ping on my way to the bottom lane, but then the enemy show up, and I believe I end up dying. Maybe I flash out, so I guess I flash out. But here, I really should prioritize mid or bot, which is what we end up doing, is going bot lane, trying to fight this Jax, but he is really fed, so like it's kind of hard to even kill the guy. And then I don't click my ult because I didn't realize I'm gonna die that quickly, and so we get completely screwed here because now that Jax is up over 3k gold on our teammate. The Baron's about to spawn. We ended up dying despite making opposite side play. And, you know, like, the game is just, I don't know what we're down to this point, but we're probably down like 10,000 gold. It's pretty unwinnable. At least I thought. But that's why I kind of wanted to show. Again, I was 2 games from Sovereign, so I like really wanted to win this one for sure, and so I couldn't believe like what happens later in the game. But right now, yeah, we're down 11,000 gold and 2 dragons. And then so this is the first thing, like the enemy overextend a little bit, which means they're not going to get Baron when they otherwise would have got Baron. So we see them overextending, so we want to go try to see if we can play the fight to maybe get a little bit of a comeback. But even if they get caught here, unless we're able to get Baron out of it, it's not like that much is going to happen. And so we're kind of trying to like force this Baron. We're trying to just see like, okay, can we get at least like a little bit of a comeback? Trying to ping my teammates like, hey, let's just try it. Like what do we have to lose? You know, like if we miss the smite, if we lose the Baron, it doesn't really matter because the game is probably going to be a loss anyway. So we're just going to flip it against their jungler. Since we're down so much, we might as well just try. Just pretty much what I'm doing here. Trying to get my ultimate and then trying to hope that I can hit the smite. And I don't even remember. I think I hit the smite. I mean, right? Yeah. We end up getting the smite, and we end up getting the shutdown onto the Xin Zhao. So that's kind of like the start of the comeback. We get a little bit. I tried clicking my recall button and missed my recall button. I'm pretty sure I would have died anyway, but a little unfortunate. And so now we're down 6k gold. Yay, only 6k. Not as bad, right? So we did get the Baron. We're only down 6.5k. At least looking kind of more winnable. I'm at 12k gold, which is only 700 down to the most fed person in the game. So like I'm in a spot where I can kind of carry this game with how much my champion scales and everything. But we still have a bunch of things that mean the game's going to be really hard. We have an 8,000 gold top laner. We don't really have anyone who's too fed. I mean, my mid and ADC, they have like 10k gold. It's not like they don't do any damage, but yeah, we're kind of still in a spot where even though we got that one comeback, we need to still play as though we're really behind. So like notice how my team, they prioritize a random fight for no reason. Don't know why they're doing that. What I'm trying to ping is like the turrets, right? I'm like, hey guys, let's get the mid turret, let's get the top turret. And so I see there's going to be a random fight there, and I'm thinking, okay, if they're going to randomly fight, maybe the enemy will get distracted. I can get topside and play around that. And so I'm just, again, I'm looking for those gold bounties. I'm looking for that turret. I'm trying to get myself as fed as possible. So boom, I one-shot a turret because Echo's balanced. I smite the camp because I'm literally, or the minion. I'm just trying to, as fast as possible, just barrel down mid lane with this Baron. Getting the enemy all chasing topside or bot side for no real reason means that we can get a second turret. And I believe we're even able to get the inhib at the end of the day. And then you can see they finally notice, hey, there's an Echo on our inhib. We should probably go stop him. But by the time they do that, I've gotten 3 turrets, all with gold bounties on them. And the gold went to me, which just makes me insanely fed. So at this point, I probably have the most gold in the game. Yeah, I have 14k gold, which is the most gold in the game. And then we see some of the enemies still overextended, so we're kind of chasing them down now. I believe this guy does like insane damage to me, and yeah. So I get nearly one shot by the Rise. I did not expect that, but I do end up having to use all of my stuff, which is kind of unfortunate. But regardless of that fact, we end up coming back quite nicely, right? Like the gold is not anything crazy now. I think we're down 4k gold at this point. Yeah, we're down 4k gold, 2 dragons now, which when we're down 17 kills, being down only 4k gold is pretty good. Again, largely just due to me playing around waves, turrets, those types of things, and then finding that one comeback angle where the enemy made a couple dumb mistakes, and then that means that we get the Baron, right? And just understanding that the flip on the Baron was totally worth it, right? 50-50ing the Baron because we're going to just lose the game anyway, so we might as well do that. And that Baron got us 3 turrets and an inhib, so very valuable. And now we kind of want to fight this dragon so that the enemy hopefully don't get soul. That's really the main kind of goal here. So we're just looking to see if we can one-shot anyone, if we can get any insane burst damage. And you can see I'm so fed that I one-shot the Annie pretty much completely. And now at this point, we're just kind of playing the fight pretty patiently, looking for a big ult, which we do end up getting onto the Ornn. And so we get a couple kills, and that means we can likely end up getting this dragon. Team ends up getting the kill onto the Rise as well, but this Jax is still a big problem. So it's a little hard even to fight this Jax just with how much damage he does, as you can kind of see, but we are looking for it, and we do end up killing him in the end, getting the 800 gold shutdown. And yeah, so just taking advantage of gold bounties, taking advantage of shutdowns, and ending up getting this. I think I end up, yeah, I try to go for the end instead. I thought like, oh, maybe we can end. So I got off of the dragon. I think we might end up getting the inhib. Don't remember for sure, but I think that's what ends up happening. Yeah, so we get the inhib, we get out the GA from the Xin Zhao. I don't think we're able to actually kill him. Right, I got an insane ult. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was kind of clean, I'm not gonna lie. We waited to time our ultimate to get the ult when his GA ended, and we got the double kill there. So you can kind of see some insane echo carries at this point. Just insane scaling. This champion is pretty unbalanced, and I see that they're coming for me here. So I do have to kind of be a bit careful, kite the thing out, and then we see the rise ends up ulting them both into me. So I just stasis. I'm basically just trying to buy time at this point because of the fact that our teammates are coming, so it's pretty much just what we do. Not overly concerned with the dragon. Obviously, I'm going to try to smite it. My smite goes onto the wrong person, but I still got it. But yeah, my smite unfortunately did not go on to who I wanted it to go on to, and now we're just stalling, just running around using our passive, waiting for our team to respawn, and then as they respawn, ends up being decent. I think I end up dying because I go too early. I was trying to time to wait for the Jack's third ability to go off, but it's a bit too early. At this point, I was kind of like, holy crap, like we're actually maybe going to come back. Like I might be one game from Sovereign, which I don't know why it was that big of a deal to me, because I've already gotten Sovereign 5 times before this, but like for some reason getting it solo queue, I really wanted to get it, and I also wanted to go to bed, so I wanted to get it quicker because I like sleeping. So I really wanted to win this game. But yeah, we kind of choked that going into the Jax too early. But I buy the TP, you notice, so that I'm like, yeah, if they end up fighting, I have this TP. As soon as I respawn, I can come for the Elder or the Baron, because those are the main objectives, obviously, that are up. Shout out to the team for getting this pick onto the Xin Zhao. I believe they end up killing him eventually. And yeah, I mean, the team now at this point, we've came back enough where they can actually do damage, and they don't have to purely rely on me, but they do go pretty deep here, so I just try to TP to go help them. Oh, I TP to Elder right here because their jungler is dead, so I'm just like, okay, maybe I can just sneak the Elder. So interesting decision by me. I honestly don't even remember what happens. Oh yeah, they TP. It was a messy game, honestly. Low-key forgot half of it, but yeah, we're just kind of focusing on the objectives. Again, you see kind of a constant focus on objectives for me on turrets as well, like these types of things. And we end up getting the kill onto the Xin Zhao. And then again, we're just trying to basically bait them in here, because at this point we have 3 people dead, so we know we can't just like instantly do the objective unless we're able to just get an ult on it or something, because of the fact that they don't have a jungler. And so we get the one shot onto the Annie. I kind of messed it up. Again, I autoed the wrong person, but it works nonetheless. So you can see like it was definitely messy at the end, because I was kind of like choking some stuff, but my champion, I mean, again, all the macro decisions we made means I don't have to play mechanically perfectly, because I'm so fed at that point that I can pretty much one-shot people if I'm able to find the proper ults, the proper start ability, autos on them, that type of thing. So we still end up getting it. Again, the decision to do that Elder largely based on the fact that their jungler was dead and the enemy were kind of distracted. And then we buy back Stasis because of the fact that now, obviously, TP is not going to be up for a while. And then we just prioritize the Baron. The enemy can't really contest it, so we're able to get a free Baron. And then from this point onwards, we just push out the side lanes. We just try to make sure, you know, we kind of sit on the side lane waiting for our teammates to push the other waves. I keep missing my auto attack onto the turret, so I have to flash because, again, I'm just choking. But I still end up living. I buy a TP back, but it doesn't even work because you have to wait 30 seconds. And then we pretty much end the game from here. So again, like low-key, a lot of choking at the end, but you can see all of the things that we did earlier on in the game are really what led to us being able to win. Also, that damage is insane, by the way, as you can see. But yeah, that was a game that got me 1 game from Sovereign, and then obviously we were able to get Sovereign solo queue after that. So I just wanted to show you guys, honestly, one of the most like hard carry games I'd had, not in terms of mechanics, not in terms of that type of thing, but just like the macro, allowing us to come back from over 11k gold down and win a game that definitely felt unwinnable. If you guys are interested in getting coached by a solo queue Sovereign player like myself, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description to my Discord server. It's just $25 an hour for coaching. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you later.